Thank you, Rajat, for joining us today. And for my viewers, I'm saying that Rajat Jain is M.Sc integrated from Shri Vaishno Devi University in Economics, and his batch was 2020, if I am right. And then he joined the University of Exeter, where he completed his M.Sc in Finance and Administration, if
Finance and
I am right. Finance and investment. Okay, so finance and investment. So, Rajat, welcome to the meet and welcome to the show. And first thing first, and this is again always an important question, that what motivated you to join a master's program again after completing a master's program from India?
First, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. And I know you're amazing, and I've seen you in the university how you work, and it's just amazing. Uh, and as far as I'm concerned, after doing my master's course in 2020, I've graduated with distinction. After that, I applied. One, my mother and my parents always encouraged me to apply to go for something beyond, which they haven't seen
Mhm.
yet. And my parents have always been here in Europe. They have seen the Europe, but they haven't never
Mhm.
lived here, which they want me to.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you just go few years, see and tell us how it feels, and maybe you find something
Mhm.
useful. I applied to a few universities. I haven't gone through GREs or GMAT or even
Mhm.
IELTS.
Mhm.
I applied to Imperial. At that time,
Mhm.
sanctions was there, there were special circumstances. And then Imperial. I applied to Glasgow. I applied to Edinburgh. I applied to Exeter. I applied to Leicester,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
think Scatellite. It's a very amazing university,
Mhm.
and uh,
Mhm.
and they accepted me. Imperial accepted me. Well, Imperial is very good in London,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and all of others are excellent. So I
Mhm.
categorize this as first five universities, which is Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, London Business School, and LSE. These are outstanding universities in UK. And after
Mhm.
that, all those universities, Exeter and Leeds and Glasgow, but they are on the same weight. It's excellent. So I got multiple offers, and my initial proposition was to go to either go to Imperial because it's one of the best, or I go to Glasgow because somehow it more makes sense, because it doesn't make sense if you spend 50 lakhs and did this and you have the same weightage as just like who's given us scholarship and who's studying here for like half of the money. It doesn't make any
Okay.
sense
Hmm.
because as
Yeah,
an
obviously.
student, you have
And you are an economics guy, so you understand it
we have to
better.
we have to pay a lot, like 30,000. My initially course fee, for example, for Exeter was 30,000 pounds, and the guy who's from the UK, he's paying just 11,000 pounds. So that's nothing.
That's a big difference, huge difference. Hmm.
It's like 20 lakhs, and I'm not even like considering the living cost and all of those, and which is in lakhs, obviously.
Mhm.
However, surprisingly, with my resume, with my transcripts, with obviously SOPs and the letter of recommendation, which Joshi sir recommended me. With I'm really grateful, and
Mhm.
the Kirti sir as well,
Mhm.
and Kirti sir always been there. I always had discussions, so I got a scholarship.
Ah,
In the,
amazing,
I got a
amazing.
15,000 pounds scholarship to study in the Exeter School, and that thing deducted from my 25,000 pounds fee, and so the overall expense for me was like just 10,000 pounds, which is less than a person who's from UK and wants to study that course. So it makes sense that way. And Exeter Business School is excellent in that category, is that, like I told you, it's just the same. So main crux is one of the cruxes that except the first six, all are same. All
Okay. Mhm.
15, next 15 are the same. Either you from Leeds or you from Warwick is good. Warwick is good. A little one step better than mine, but same. So
Okay.
if so we used to say when I joined my business school, जब मैंने वहाँ पे मतलब देखा वहाँ पे मतलब there are so many people. This in the UK is very international. It's not Canada.
Hmm.
It's not Australia.
Yeah.
It's people from all over the world come to
Yeah.
UK. for different reasons, and you will find it somehow. And it's people. I used to my other friends was Polish, Italians. I have this very good friends from Bocconi, and Bocconi are known for Harvard of Italy. So these kind of things. So I went there, I seen things. So everyone's, and then I say, is it a good choice? Because I really want to know after my research. I can make a decision. Is this decision really makes sense? So I have talked to those guys, not Indians at all, not South Asian people, the people who are from here. So they said, they're very good friends of mine, working in investment banking in Poland, Warsaw, Italy. So first 5, if you get in, okay, we have respect. Okay, next 15, we all same.
You are all the same.
Please.
Yeah.
And I learned this very, very hardly, because Warwick or for any other institution, they ask you for like £40,000. My university asked me £25,000. I got a scholarship. So if the person is paying £40,000 and I pay £10,000, doesn't make any. It's just the same.
It's just
the companies. Because now I have completed my dissertation. My dissertation was on valuations. I did a Dassault's valuation. The company who had Rafale, who produces Rafale. You heard about that? India purchased those kind of jets. So I am the one who did the valuations on how much the company worth in a 10,000, 15,000 words. It's the same. So when I go to the employer, like I'm in the process of Morgan Stanley, I'm in the process of Credit Suisse, I'm in the process of PwC, EY, Deloitte. They all, except those, everybody's same. You have to go to the each and every step the way it is meant. If you think you're privileged, you have to be in that group, especially from Oxford or Cambridge. Otherwise, it's the same. Nothing.
So I have one more question here.
Yeah.
So, like you have applied and you very comprehensively told about the situation over here. So now, like suppose somebody is planning to go for higher studies and trying to go for higher studies in UK. So, and suppose he or she is pursuing economics or any other degree also, I guess it is the truth. So, when shall that person start preparing for, or say when shall he or she should start preparing, and how to select the universities, or how to have that thing in their mind, that roadmap, if you can just walk us through that, what is the roadmap which you should have in your mind, that okay, these are the things which I have to initially complete, say in the first year or in the second year or in the third year of their studies, or fourth year or fifth year, depending upon the course or say the degree, and how to go for it, how to select. Like you were saying that you were not talking to anybody from India, you were talking to people who are there. So that helped you a lot, because they give you the real picture rather than people who are here. So all these things, please tell it in detail.
Okay, so how I approach this is, I wanted to go. So there first are requirements. See if first of all the requirements are everything. The entry standards are the barriers which give 90% of the weight for that degree. So if you're getting the Harvard, the weight is not to study in Harvard because they're going to teach you the same thing which any other university going to teach you, the entry standards. So if they need GRE and its GRE requirement is high, and you don't, and your overall application process, you have to see how many more things there are, because in India, so if you get JRF, you get in a PhD, plus you have to crack an interview, right? Here it doesn't work that way. So I was having this discussion last week with my other friend, and he will disagree. But here the weightage is given to overall application. SOPs, obviously, they want to know. SOP is the way they want to know if you are assessing what kind of person are you and what do you think. But your transcripts, top notch. See if that standards, they have minimum standards and then they have actual standards. Those standards, you need to have GPA or CGPA. You need to have GRE. You have to complete the English standard test. Then you need to have a good letter of recommendation, and 2 more things depends on the course. So you need to start things that. This is the filtering process. For example, I didn't have GRE. I didn't consider any university which considered GRE at that time, because I cannot go. If I want to go, I have to meet the entry standard first.
Yeah.
So if you remove the GRE thing, then I have 15 universities which I can consider, which is you can take any ranking. Ranking again differs, but it's just the same. Take the national ranking of UK, which is Sunday and Times ranking. So that will help. Go through it, find those universities. Okay, here universities also, it's not about generic. Okay, and I know the universities rank on a generic basis because overall this university is best, then second and third, but the employer here also see which university's course is ranked in the world, and that department is highly, just like India. That department is like, it's really, really interesting, really valuable. People are there, are really contributing, and that again have another list. So if you are doing finance, you have to go to for me, for example, I did FT ranking. So in FT ranking, my course ranked 43rd in the world in 2021. King's College course, okay, ranked less than me. Few more universities ranked, which is overall they're better than my university, ranked below in that thing. So don't see the overall ranking. Obviously, you have to see it, but again, put more weightage on what your departments has to offer, what kind of things support. There are many support here. Your mental and physical, again, yes, but their application process support. So there are financial support as well. They will pay you. So the university over top of 15,000, they also paid me 2,000 because of the COVID, and I'm from South Asia, and for other reasons, I told them. So you have to see all of these things. After that, there will be 10 universities. After in those, apply to 5. In some, okay, I didn't do GRE, I didn't do IELTS, and these are two basic requirements if you want to go on. So I told you there wasn't that good time to do GRE preparations because the COVID was in it's in peak, and everything was a mess in India and outside. Nobody knows what to do, but they still want me to do IELTS. However, it was on the university website that they told if you also have your 12 your higher school education from CBSE, and if you in English you have more than 70%, 80%, depending on the course, they will waiver that condition. You just have to tell them. An email will waiver a particular condition. That's again put a filter in universities, and then you obviously, most important part, what are you going to do after doing your masters? I have done my masters. Now what? I have a house in London.
Yeah, in fact, that was the question which I was about to come. Now you have completed your degree. So what next, Rajat? And before I go to what next, let me ask you another important question. How is studies, say, different in UK compared to India? Because you have been here and you know the system over there now. So just give us a basic comparison that how it works and how it does not work. So what are the changes which you have to make?
Well, how I will approach this is Indian system. It's crucial. It's efficient in some sense. It's not efficient in other. But however, I take my own example. I have studied in India all my adult life, right? Starting from 17, ending to 24. Yes. The essays here, it's more of a you have to take an exam-based approach. Here, there is an exam-based approach, just like application, but there's also more weight to how you write things. So if you don't know how to write it down, your thoughts, your clear idea, an essay, a good understanding how it works if you want to give it to your employer, if you want to give to your supervisor, or you want to publish your paper, any of those, because some says I'm not a PhD, so why should I write? No, you have to write efficiently, you have to speak efficiently, you have to present efficiently, you have to say what has to be said. But for me, I don't know, maybe if I go to IIT and Ahmedabad, it can be different picture, because that's the best people in India who goes there, and I really have the respect. And if I get that chance to go to IIT, I did apply to it. I got in IIT Roorkee for the interview. So they asked me to go to interview. I didn't do it because I got a scholarship at that time. But if I got the chance, if someone have to pick from me and that person from who is IIT Bombay, and for computer science, pick that person.
Okay.
That person have a more weightage, then go to an excellent university. Okay, if someone is from Oxford and then IIT, okay, now we have to think a little bit more refined things. So writing it down, I have 12 modules, 6 in 4 months. So how it works that out of it's a combination, just like us, right? In SMVDU, in Shri Vaishno Devi University, my professors and how my course is structured in a way that 50 or 70, 80% is on, you have to give a paper and then it's assignment or something like that. So two kind combination, 3 kind combination, how it will be. Here it is an essay, which will be like 70% of your exam, and there's 20% a quiz, which is again nothing. So if you don't write it down, you cannot get it. And then here they're gonna say the same. You cannot go to professor and ask, sir, please. This is not how it works. Do good thing, do a good job, and you're gonna get what you deserve. I have a distinction. My overall weightage, after my dissertation, hopefully will touch more than 80. And if in UK, if you get more than 70, you are an educated person. Any company.
Amazing.
So it's some.
In fact, this is also very true, and this is something which we try to practice over here, but people do not understand that there is a difference in the professional as well as in the personal life. People do not take things personally. Here, people take a lot of things very personally, right?
Yes. That's so true. That's so true. And here I've seen people who sit, who read, who really want to they read. They go to not about a library. Library is just a place you get the resources. But they sit, they read, they do all kind of stuff. It's not about they don't go. For 1 year, UK is the best party culture I've seen. It's everywhere. If you ever come to UK, I invite you to my home. We go to some place you want to sit. It's a pub where we have to have a pint.
Yeah, it's
But at the same time, they also do what they have to do in universities, in law degree, in computer science degree. I have friends. Amazing.
In IITs, this is something which I have learned in the IITs, that they will say that work hard, party harder.
Exactly. So, because I haven't never been to IITs, I think because I think IISc is India's actually it's very best in the whole region. If the person from there and that person is gonna do something better than I think. But however, so this is how it. So efficiently read and write is the main, because what happens after most of the time, a good engineer or a good economics person loses interest in his own field because the person change with time. There's because it's how it is. Interest changes, economy changes, things changes. So if you do, but the thing is, if you know how to read and write, that's not going to change. If you even
for sure,
even if
your only area of concern can change, but you will always like to read and write. And as you told very efficiently, that the education system in UK will teach you how to read, how to write, how to present. All these things are very important components. We somehow only pressurize people on gulp the information and vomit it out in the examination. That's the whole education system and that is what you said very right, that they will give more emphasis on the essays. That is something which I know. I had friends in Oxford and Cambridge, and they were saying that the professor comes and the whole evaluation process is through the research students and all these things, and they will only like to see how well you have interacted in the class, what were your questions and queries, and how well you have presented. We do not want any examinations as such. No need for examinations, only papers and the presentations which you have come out with, along with your group discussions and all these class engagements.
Yes.
So those things are very important.
Yes. So it's the same thing. Okay. We are talking about a normal journal average Indian who wants to study. Okay. If someone is being in a 90th percentile in our country, he is going to be in like some of IITs or IIM. He's obviously going to be different. He's going to work for a big multinational. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a journal person, a journal student, a normal one who have limited resources, limited knowledge. What education as a journal has to offer, our country has to offer, not the IITs. They are the best people. They're better than me. They're better than any day, single day. However, so when we have discussion, so that's why 80% of the engineers are not employable. But 20% are employable. Actually, those 20% are not only employable, they are the CEOs.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Distribution works, but
yeah. In fact, all these agencies, the AICTs, the UGCs, and all these governing agencies are putting a lot of emphasis now that engineers know, but they do not know how to tell. They do not know how to present themselves. That EYC is missing, right? The express yourself clearly kind of thing, that is completely missing. And because of that, even if they know, but they do not know how to tell it to the other people, so they get petty jobs rather than amazing jobs which they can get.
having a journal sense. Have a journal sense. Okay, I know you know how to make a software for a software, but have a journal sense, because working in a team. Because here I have gone through. I have a rejection from Bloomberg 2 days back, and I was in the last stage to get into Bloomberg, and it was like £60,000 job, which is like good enough to start something in UK. Yeah. But so the fit questions. They will for those technical questions. Obviously, you are an engineer. You can do it. You should do it because that's what you did for those years. But what about the collaboration? What about ethics? What are values? I know these companies look for these, and in HR hiring they put more weight on these things. But this is how it works. So if you want to get like 2 crores, you can get it. But make sure you are the one they're looking for. If you are the one, and if you're not getting something, it's something you have to, like, I have to work on it. Maybe I haven't. So this is how it's different. So we back to our question. It's how it's different. So my writing skills, I get the confidence of if I joined the PhD in India after doing my skills, it was my fault that I didn't do enough. It wasn't my professor's fault. It was all my fault. I didn't do enough to write, to think. But here, it was must. So I have to. I did. I get the good grades, and now I'm very confident. That obviously, ideas there, but I can write, and any day I can write. Put me 2,000 words. It's nothing. It's less. Give me at least 3,000 to anyone, and you tell me what's the idea is. So for my normal essays, for like 3,000 words essay, I always write 4,000. Then I have to cut. So this is the problem with me now. I have to cut it short. So now new ideas comes to the picture.
You have to go for ruthless editing of your own work.
Yes. It's a nightmare. It looks good when it's just 3,000, but it's chaos when it goes beyond 12,000. So if you're 12,000, you have to cut 2,000, but it can't do that.
And especially editing your own work is very, very painful.
Yes.
Somebody else can edit your work. They can be very ruthless, but you cannot be ruthless with you. And you really feel the pain because you have put so much of effort in writing, and now you have crossed the limit. Now you have to cut it short.
Now we have to cut it down. Now when I sit and see, okay, my professor, I want to this. For example, if I work for an investment bank or for any commercial bank here in UK, they want me to, okay, this is the valuation. For example, now I'll tell you. I'm gonna link what I do to your question. So after doing my modules, I have to, for 3 months, just like in India, we have to do dissertation. At that time, I was also working as an intern in mergers acquisition company. So my company was named Consultation Software in basically Toronto-based company. They're listed in they're huge. They have more than 500 companies in whole world. They buy and sell. They only buy. They hold the company for perpetuity. They buy the company and they keep it as a conglomerate. So this is the thing. So I was directly working with acquisition team. So what acquisition team is? So my acquisition team's head, who's in charge of that team, had $1 billion in hand. Right now, he can go and buy any company without even tell to parental company. So that's how. So I was working. So in that time, so he asked me, because I was interning, making a report. He asked me. So there was 3 guys. He given me. I'm giving you 6 companies, 2 each. You have to prepare me a report, and you have to tell me what's the value of the company and why I should buy it in the first place. That was basic pitching.
And that really requires a lot of skill to project yourself and write it down and stuff like that. Yeah, that I understand.
If you make a mistake and my boss buys a wrong company, first I'm gonna get fired. That's like least worst thing.
That's the simplest thing which will happen.
That is like
the rest of the things will follow even more.
But the thing is, my company is gonna lose millions of dollars, pounds, euros. That's the worst. So, so writing it down, making it a good analysis is priority. It's not only a degrees thing. You have to do it. For example, you don't know how to do it, but you're still able to crack the interview or the whole. You're gonna have a hell of a time. You can't work. You're always gonna be in your knees. I have seen people. Good. I have this friend, Bangladeshi person. His ideas was good. He cannot write it down nicely. There were so many mistakes.
Yeah, expression matters. Expression matters. If you are not very clear and clean with your expression, then definitely it's going to be a problem. Anyways, Rajat, coming to the next question, and that is again important. What next for Rajat Jain now?
Oh.
Because you have completed your masters, and now I'm pretty sure that you will be either looking for a job or you will like to go for a higher studies.
Sir, for me, hopefully, fingers crossed. My plan, my little plan is that I go for a job. I have a few assessments from Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, and the RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, and stuff like that, Royal Bank of Canada. However, I like to see myself here. How it works. My professor, they give me this idea how should I orient myself in India. Here, it doesn't matter. My professors work in universities in finance. I'm just talking about finance. I don't know what happened in the field. They're also being advisors, consultants, partners in the firm in London, $1 billion hedge fund, $1 billion, and good money, private equity. They are also advisors. So my approach is that it's hopefully I get my PhD done, be a full-time professor, because I have very strong interest in research. However, I also like to be in corporate, because finance is something which cannot just only use research based. It has to work in the market. That only makes sense. It's not something I don't know about other fields. I only know about mine. So next year I told you gonna be starting my applications for PhD. Hopefully I get in, start my course. Hopefully I get the funding as well, because you need for example, I'll tell you the last year. So in January, University of Glasgow gave me the decision. They accepted me as their M research, and after the 1 year M research, I will move to the PhD. So it will be 4 years course. So, but however, for the funding, because you need a lot of money. So it's like £20,000 1 year just for the P. So it's like 2 crores for the PhD more. So, but university offered me partial funding. So I got stuck there. So they said, we will fund you for the next 3 years for the PhD years, but we will not fund you for the M research, because apparently how the course is structured. If they want to know if I'm good enough in M research, if I get this extension, if I get this entry standard, they will fund me anytime. So I got stuck there, and at this time they're demanding me 70 lakhs to put in. Whereas if I go to India, if I do NET, if I do JRF or something like that, I get into good university, decent, respectable, which be good people with I work with I can share my thoughts. We can learn something. So it's not worth it.
So, but in UK, do they also have this requirement that you have to go, or say you have to have some job experience before you can apply for PhD, or you can directly apply for PhD?
Okay, so this is again, there's something. For the PhD, you need to have a master's. It is expected you have to master in taught. There's 2 type of courses here. So it is just, for example, in India, हम बोलते हैं कि MPhil है. MPhil is the research based. Then there's PhD और एक मास्टर्स है. मास्टर्स MPhil में रिसर्च का ही फर्क है. यहाँ पे M research है और taught और research है. You have to have a taught degree, which is I have right now. Which is, hopefully I have, and then it is expected you start with the, if you have a brilliant idea you can work with, and central agency can fund that idea. For example, on my topic will be sustainable finance or green finance, because things are moving in some that sense. So if the idea is good, they will put you in directly PhD. If not, you have to do a M research program. Then if things are good, if you meet the industry standards, you meet the basics things, then they will move you in. And as far as the money is concerned, if you're good, you're gonna get it anyways.
Yeah, that is for sure. That is for sure. No, in fact, it is true for every part of this world. If you are good enough, you will definitely get through, and you will also get the funding. That is not going to be a problem, because I know people who were struggling in the initial stage, but later on they got the funding, and all the dues and all the bills can be paid. So that's not going to be a problem. So are you planning to sit back for 1 year and really work for your MS program or say PhD program, or you are planning to first take a job and then you will slowly move to the PhD program?
So if I get in with both the requirements, the entry standards and the funding, even if I have a job, I'm gonna do my PhD, because I think I have been at this part of my life, I have energy to do it, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot. I don't know how it works, but here it's a lot of work. It's not like you can just put it through and it's done. So, but I will do it anyhow. And till 1 year gap, yes, I will take a 1 year gap, and I'm living in London. I'm seeing the places. I'm many good companies. I'm in Canberra and Central. So I'm see how things works and get a job, and I'm gonna resign. Anyways.
Okay. So, suppose if you are pursuing PhD, so what kind of say openings people have after doing a PhD in economics, or say in finance, or in all those areas where you are working with? Say after pursuing a PhD from a university in UK, because in India people usually go to academics only. Mostly PhDs will go to academics, but that is not the common trend, I guess, so in UK. So tell us more about it.
Okay, so in my field, economics and finance, because here they associate finance with the economics itself, because economics is the broader field. So in UK, what they do is, if just like I told you, what my professors do, they don't only work in academics; that they also work as advisors in a company. So if there is an acquisition deal, you are the CEO. I have Stanley is an advisor. The company which I'm working for, Chinoy is he's from Europe. My fund is in Europe, and he's CEO. Stanley's advising it, but Stanley is also the person who's reviewing my dissertation as well. So this is how it works. However, if there's more interest, if I have more interest on pursuing full-time job, because there's more money in job, it's evident. It's more money here in finance. London is it's one of the best places you can be if you're competent enough. So you can full-time job. You can go to Bank of England, set their rates as far as economics is concerned. Good economic advisors. Or you can go to valuations. You can go to private equity. You can investment banking, asset management, wealth management, commercial banking. There's retail banking. There's so many broader fields that even doing it after PhD, still go for it. And the companies, even for the auditing, with the Big 4 auditing firm and the Big 4 consulting firms, and then Big 3 or Big 4 investment banking firms. So you can still go for it, apply for it. They have specialized programs. You apply for just like a graduate scheme. So if you graduated in India or here, if there's Deloitte or Big 4 consulting, you apply there, you get through their bars, and then you get in. Same as after doing PhD, that some bars will be lower down because you have done hard work, but you can start working. And then after 10 years of experience, you will be VP is you will be managing partner, you will be partner in that firm for sure.
Okay. So it was really a comprehensive one. In fact, you told everything in detail.